What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Duran Duran. We're going back to their 1993 self-titled album, or the wedding album. Getting close to the end, and in fact I did already do the last track, Sin of the City. So we have two remaining. The one we're going to do now, Shelter, and then the last one will be To Whom It May Concern. Very interested by the title of this one. I say a lot that single word titles tend to be a bit more cryptic or opaque. But this one, you know, the concept does suggest quite a lot, just in terms of the denotation, never mind surrounding connotations. Meaning denotation is like the specific meaning indicated by the semantics of a particular word, whereas connotations are things that are associated with it, but are not necessarily the thing itself, which is to say, if you say an airplane, well, the denotation of that is it's a flying conveyance, a vehicle to transport people from one place to another through the air. But the connotations of that are, well, you need a runway, you need a crew to fly the airplane, you need an airport, there are people who have to travel in the first place, you need customers. So all those connotations are related to the concept, but they are not the concept itself. And so shelter, it's a concept that speaks to a refuge, protection from the elements, from exposure, and that could obviously be a physical, like a literal covering, but it could also be sort of an emotional protection. It could be a place that one goes to psychologically when the world seems unbearable, or when forces are mounted against you. There's a number of ways it could manifest, so I'm very curious about how it might go, and of course it could manifest on multiple levels. And I'm wondering whether the sonics might, in one way or another, sort of provide a sort of refuge for the ear and for the brain. So we'll have to see how it plays out, but I'm very excited to go through. I've enjoyed this album immensely. I keep saying it. I absolutely get why this album was a sort of, why it rekindled international interest in the band. Several of the songs, including, the two that I knew, the big hits, Ordinary World and Come Undone, I love them, and I really enjoyed going through them in this listen. But again, it's a number of other tunes, like Too Much Information, Love Voodoo, None of the Above, which we just listened to, their cover, as I now know, of Femme Fatale, Breath After Breath. I mean, it's just been a really interesting album, so I really understand why this was sort of a real landmark release for them, and again, sort of rekindled international interest. So let's get to it. This is Shelter by Duran Duran on their 1993 self-titled album. Real powerful sting. Like the keys are like attacking your brain, which feels like you might need shelter, right? Like need protection. Ugh. Like that melody is like, it sounds more like light than like substance. It's like light coming through windows. Singing high. Got some power in this part. That like rattling.
Trust my intuition. You're the one got to know. I give without condition. Wouldn't try to save your soul. Money or reputation doesn't mean a thing to me. Special communication, it's the only thing we need.
That little bass roll right before the measure change. And I love that, like, the snare roll. lyrics as I would hope. Like the sonics are like so powerful and dynamic that my brain is kind of going to that more. Ooh. I like the mood of this section. It's a bit pensive. It's like up in the headspace of it.
In the shelter of my heart.
Which, it was in the shelter of my heart, that's where we were. So again, it suggests an emotional, psychological shelter. But not quite sure how it's manifesting. Simple detail, but the sonic quality of the snare is great. It's got a lot of pop to it. Oh, the sax, come on. I heard you. Speak to me. The brass of some kind. I heard it. Nothing else, it is a groovy sonic shelter. Yeah, like I said, I didn't pick up on as many of the lyrics as I would have liked there. It sounds like that rolls right into the next tune, if I can remember, which, you know, I'm reacting to a lot of different albums, and it is sort of difficult to keep everything in the front view screen, but if I can remember, then when I react to the next tune on the album, which will be the last one, which is To Whom It May Concern, the last one for me, just to be clear. I'm aware there is one more, but I did already react to it. But yeah, I'll try to start at the very end of Shelter and let it roll right into To Whom It May Concern. But yeah, that was a cool tune. I enjoyed the groove of it. Again, there was at least a couple hints there that it was about, you know, the refuge, the shelter is in someone's heart. Now, that could be relative to the world, it could be relative to another person, or to, you know, romantic or intimate experiences more broadly. Yeah, I didn't really pick up on enough of the like contours there to make more sense of that. But yeah, I do think there are emotions at play, and the refuge on offer, or perhaps available via another person. Again, I'm not sure. There's a number of ways it can manifest, and I didn't pick up on enough. So I'll have to listen to it some more. Do let me know if you have a, you know, a clear take or an understanding of what they were trying to get at with this one. Do let me know if you have any information about the Sonics. Again, there's a couple albums where, like, in the sort of like album, whatchamacallit, like case, it gives some production info. I was just talking about how Paper Gods, it lists everything sort of there. But yeah, I am curious about any guest appearances. Like I said, I do think some people mentioned, you know, that there's a guest person on the guitar maybe on this album. I'm not sure. Again, it's hard to keep everything in the front view screen. But yeah, like I said, I heard some brass in there, so let me know if there are any guest appearances of note. Other than that, I do appreciate you listening and watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.